welcome back to another screencast on Parallel Lines number 1. I've done this screencast a couple of times. We've had problems with the sound, so if I sound a little bit dull and boring, I do apologise. It's been a long day. But it shouldn't be a long day for you. What are parallel lines? Very simply, here goes some parallel lines for you. You can see that with the arrows, they're indicating these two parallel lines, and then they've got one line which cuts through them. And this is really important because if we use the information that we find from one set of lines, we can use to find out information on the others. We're going to give them some names, so definitely get out your books, rule up this as an example, because here comes some wonderful names for you, which is going to explain it all. First up, we have the alternate. Now, here goes an angle for you. The corresponding, they're not an angle for you, another name for you, corresponding and vertically opposite. We're also going to talk about straight lines, and we're also going to talk about full turns. But let's go through each one in a little bit more detail. So here we go, corresponding. So I've got an angle of 35 degrees here, and the corresponding angle means what angle down here will also be 35, and there's two of them. So you have a look and have a little think, which angles out of those four will be 35 degrees? Hopefully you're saying this one. Now, maybe the reason why you're saying this one, because it looks the same as this, doesn't it? It looks the same as this. I'll get rid of that. Looks very similar at least, but it is exactly the same. This is the corresponding angle because it can be found in the same location as this one. If we were to describe these, we'd have top left, top right, bottom left. We'd have top left, top right. This is found in top right. This is found in top right. They are corresponding. They look the same. They are the same degree value. So let's go over another one. Let's highlight that one for us. Yeah. Now let's go over the next one. Alternate. So alternate angles are the same degree value but found in a different location. So we can say that this is 35 degrees here. It's alternate because it's not found in the same location. This is top right, this is bottom left, but it's still 35 degrees. Therefore, it's alternate. I always like to think of it like an alternative person, still a person. They still do everything else the same. They might look a little bit different. They might be into slightly different music or slightly different food, but they're the same. This is the same thing, slightly different, but still the same degree value. All right, so that was that one. The next one is going to be vertically opposite. Vertically opposite is where we have a line and a line, and where they create an angle, vertically opposite that angle will also be the same degree value. So well worth knowing. That kind of helps us out massively now, because it also explains why these are the same angles here. We've got our corresponding angle, but why is the alternative angle the same? Because obviously these are vertically opposite also. We're getting very near the end here of this explanation before we move into some questions. Straight line though. Let's look at some straight lines. We've got a straight line here. If we were to forget about all of this, forget about all of that, look what we have got. And I'm really sorry, my straight lines aren't that straight because I'm doing them by hand. I've got a 35 degree angle. What do we know about this whole line? What's the whole line worth? It's worth 180 degrees. So if this is worth 180 degrees and we want to find out what this is worth, we can use that information to help us, can't we? We can say 180, take away the 35, that gives us 145 degrees. I apologize. 145 degrees. Okay? That helps us out massively. But we've also got, if I get rid of all of this, I've also got another straight line, don't I? I could say that's a straight line. I could say this is a straight line, and I've got 35 degrees here. Let me get rid of all of this as well. And I'm going to do the same thing, aren't I? I'm going to go 180, take away the 35, gives me 145. 145. That means that these are vertically opposite to each other also. But last and definitely not least, is going to be a thing called a full circle. And we're going to cover that now, or a full turn. So we should know that a full turn is worth 360 degrees. So if one angle is 35, then we know that this angle is going to be 35. And we know this angle will be 145 because we worked out the straight line, and this is going to be 145. And if we add all of these things up together, magically they equal 360 degrees. So that is all the information we need now to progress on to the questions. Okay, sorry, I'm going to highlight those to say all of those makes a full turn. So here goes the quiz questions now. What I would like you to do is I'd like you to label what A, B, C and D are worth, and maybe give some examples about why they're worth what they're worth. Now, we're going to have a myriad of answers, but if you use some of that terminology, it'd be really, really good. Anyway, pause the video now, give it a go, come back and see if you've got it correct. So here we go. It's time for the answers. So the first thing that I do is I always work out, even if they're not asking me, I always work out the top angles there. So I can see I've got my vertically opposite, I've got my straight line and my straight line. So I could say that 125, it must be down here. This must be the corresponding angle. 125, that would be the alternate angle, but it would also be vertically opposite. And we've got 55 because it's on a straight line. And 55 because it's on a 360 degree full turn. Same thing down here. We've got our 50 and 30 giving me my straight line of 180. Vertically opposite, so forth and so on. So A's worth 30, B's worth 150, C's worth 30, and D's worth 150. Hopefully you got those correct. Hopefully you're learning some of that terminology. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you will. But if you've nailed it, do a revision card on it. If you haven't nailed on it, maybe go back, make some more notes, watch the video again. But until next time, it's been an absolute pleasure helping you with your maths today. Enjoy.